What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fishing OD. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 2023 Shimano Stradic FM. So to kick off this video, this is actually the first time that I own a Stradic myself personally. The Stradic dates back a very long time in Shimano's lineup of reels, but this is actually my very first Stradic. Not to say that I haven't played around with the older models like the Stradic FL and the FK, but me personally, this is my very first Stradic that I actually own. One of the main reasons that I wanted to get my hands on the new Stradic, or a Stradic in general, in my arsenal is the fact that this is one of Shimano's mid-tier reels in their core solid lineup. And if you're not familiar with the core solid lineup, these are essentially their powerhouse reels that are made for your more powerful techniques, and it's built with their rigid aluminum frame bodies as opposed to their composite bodies like you would find in the Vanford. And I would say the Vanford is the reel that I use the absolute most, but like anything in life, there's no such thing as a perfect product, and there are going to be some applications where your Stradic FM are going to be more well fit than something like the Vanford. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that a lot of you guys are already familiar with a lot of the technologies that you're going to find in the Stradic, but for those of you that don't, the Stradics are packed with a bunch of different Shimano technologies. And in the new Stradic FM, there are many technologies that have been passed down from their higher end reels like the Stella. And although it may look very similar to the old Stradic FL, I can assure you there are a bunch of new technologies in this reel that make it superior to its predecessor, the FL. So the first new technology that Shimano implemented into this reel is going to be Infinity Cross. And essentially what Infinity Cross is going to do is it's going to increase gear durability, and how they accomplish that is by extending the gear tooth horizontally, which in return distributes the load on the gear tooth more evenly. And the Infinity Cross ties in really well to the next technology. And as you guys probably already know, Shimano is really known for their gearing in general. They're not only leaders in the fishing industry, but they're also leaders in the cycling industry as well. And Infinity Cross ties in perfectly with Shimano's Micro Module Gear 2 that they implemented into this reel. And this is going to be a refinement of their cold forge gearing system that they include in these reels, which is going to allow for a much better reeling experience. They've also added another feature that comes from their higher end reels, which is going to be Infinity Drive. And not to confuse it with Infinity Cross, Infinity Drive delivers light rotation and increased cranking power under tension, under load. So what this means for you guys as an angler, when you hook up into a fish and you're reeling in and it's dogging you and you're trying to put a lot of pressure on it, you're not going to get any of that sticky reeling. It's going to be smooth the whole way through, and it's going to allow you to bring that fish in with confidence, and you're not going to be having any issues with this reel. And the next feature, which ties in pretty well to Infinity Drive, is going to be Shimano's new drag system called Duracross. And the reason I say this ties in well is because even if your reel is performing well under load as far as your cranking, you're going to want your drag to be working well, because at the end of the day, when you're bringing in your fish, your lifeline is your drag. And this year Shimano implemented the new Duracross drag system, and the new drag system is going to provide you with the same performance that you're going to get out of a felt drag with up to 10 times more durability. And the way that they say they achieve this is by reinforcing the material, by weaving in new fibers in a manner that is orthogonal to the direction of fibers that make up a conventional drag washer. And the last technology that I really want to touch upon is going to be the addition of the new anti-twist fin. I don't know if you can see that here. I'll do an overlay for you guys. But what's really cool about the anti-twist fin, if you're not familiar with it, is it's a little piece of plastic here, or whatever this material is, and essentially what that does is it holds onto your line. So when you take off your bait and you go slack, I don't know if you guys can see that, but my line doesn't fall out from the reel. So if you're doing techniques that imply a lot of slack lining, you know, if you're putting a Ned rig on the bottom and you want to really go fully slack, or you're drop shotting or whatever it may be, any technique you do that requires a slack line, as you guys can see, that anti-twist fin holds it right in place. And if you have the habit of tying really long leaders and you're worried about your knot getting stuck in here, what's beautiful about this is you can just remove it and put it back as you please. Luckily for me, my leaders aren't long enough to make a difference. It never goes into the reel. So for me, the addition of the anti-twist fin, it's gonna stay on here, and it's gonna make the entire fishing experience just that much more pleasant. And those are just some of the new technologies that Shimano implemented into this reel. So that's enough on the technologies and features about this reel. Today, we're gonna be putting putting it to the test on some smallmouth. My goal is gonna be to get a few fish catches on this reel, and then at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you my first impression / review on it, let you guys know how the drag performs, how it feels, because as of right now, I just talk shop, I talk specs to you guys. So we're gonna get out there and we're gonna try to get on some fish. So guys, unfortunately, like the dummy I am, I forgot my SD card for my GoPro. So luckily I have at least the camera set up. So you guys are gonna get to see my back the whole time, but I think we're gonna catch some fish. So I'm gonna start by putting on live scope here. So I'm just gonna be crawling a 3/8 ounce finesse jig along bottom. There's one. There's one. Not a big one at all, but get in here. All right, first fish on the Stradic FM. Little smallmouth, nothing big at all. Again, throwing that finesse jig like I said. Nice fish, little guy. Right back. All right, so that doesn't tell me much. All I know is that drag felt good, even though it wasn't much of a drag puller. Drag felt good, reel felt smooth. Let's see if we could crack another one here quick. Gone. Like I was straight under the boat. I will say though, you can definitely feel that under tension, this reel stays like butter smooth. It's actually really impressive. With a lot of those lighter reels, I find like because it's such a light reel and it's so light winding, that like when you're really trying to crank, you kind of feel a bit more awkward. Whereas with this, it just makes absolute sense to put a lot of power behind it, you know? I don't really know how to describe it more than that. What I'm gonna be using this reel for mainly is I have it on a 7'2" medium heavy Corrado rod right now, and I'm stuck. I'm gonna be using it a lot more for my heavier techniques like tubes, dragging, like a little bit of a heavier football / finesse jig. That's really what I'm gonna be using this for. If you're a largy guy, you could use this reel for Texas rigging. You could use it for Nico, wacky, whatever you want really, but I just prefer it for those techniques where I'm using heavier presentation, or obviously if you're fishing in heavy cover too. It's October 1st, guys, and it is freaking hot. I wanna take off my shirt, it's so hot. Water's 65 degrees in October. Ooh, I just got tapped. All right guys, as you can see, it is now a different day of fishing. I ended up fishing all day with the Stradic at the beginning of this video, but I didn't end up getting to put it to the test like I wanted to. So I decided to come out here on the beautiful St. Lawrence River and head out to smash some smallmouth with it. So I'm gonna roll you guys a few clips of some fish that I caught today, and then I'll give you my final impressions on the product. Knew it. That's a good fish, dude. I think that's gonna be a good one. Not a bad fish though. I'm gonna net it. I had a feeling. I figured there was no way there wasn't fish here. Ooh, that one's got a belly to it. That's overexposed. I'm sorry, guys. It's not a bad one. Check. He's got some round to him. He's got some round to him. Good fish. Maybe high threes, mid to high threes. Looks like we might have found something. Tighten that drag a bit. Not bad. It's loaded here. Okay. A little bit better. Nice. I like the Stradic. I'm very happy with it. So all in all, after putting the Stradic through further testing, I can say that I'm super pleased with how it was performing. Overall, a super smooth reel, super fun to fish with. You can tell that this reel has got a lot of power behind it with the new technologies that Shimano implemented, and the new Duracross drag system that they implemented, super smooth. I hooked into quite a few really good fish today and got to see how I was performing on those fish. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, comment down below for what you guys want to see in future videos, and as always, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, or you have a chance to fish the reel yourselves, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. There's still a lot more fishing opportunities to be done before the boat goes away, and even after that, before ice comes, there's a lot of fishing to be done, and I'm going to be taking the time to make sure I get out here to catch as many fish as I can and film as much content for you guys as possible. We actually ended up having a pretty good day today, which you're going to see in the next video, and I can expect many more good days for the rest of the season. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.